Hey everyone, this is Ryan with Mike and Technologies, back with another DocuWare video. Today we're going to be looking at installing desktop apps on a PC. Desktop apps are important if you have a user or if yourself plan on doing any printing or scanning or utilizing any of the other tools and apps in DocuWare. Installing desktop apps will allow you to essentially import documents into DocuWare through some various methods. The first thing you want to do when you install desktop apps is have your user or yourself log in using your account or the user account on their machine. So this will need to take place on the computer that the user is going to be working in DocuWare from. So what you would do is have the user log into DocuWare and then use the pull down menu at the top here by their username, and you want to scroll down to desktop apps, and you're going to see this flyout menu with two options: install desktop apps and connect to desktop apps. So obviously we want that top one, install desktop apps. So I'm going to click on this, and this is going to run this is going to basically download a setup file. So what I can do is click on that setup file, and it's going to bring up the client setup here. So this screen's going to pop up, and what we want to do is click on install. And so DocuWare is going to run through and it's going to install all of your standard apps. So this is going to be the DocuWare Desktop Framework, the DocuWare Printer, the DocuWare Scanner, and a few other ones. And so basically what you want to do is just run the setup and then let it do its thing. Typically it only takes a few minutes to run the setup and download and install the apps. So it's just a matter of sitting there and watching it run through and do its thing. So we'll just sit here and let this download. All right, so the setup finished. I typically always click on restart later at the bottom. You really don't have to restart as soon as the apps install. It may be good practice, but typically I just click on restart later, honestly. Alright, so the desktop apps are installed on the machine, but there is a crucial next step, and what we need to do is connect our account with the desktop apps. So we jump down to the same menu, go to our desktop apps flyout menu, and click on connect to desktop apps, and that's going to bridge a connection with my account and my desktop apps. So what I can do now, for example, is bring up a document. I can choose print, and then I can choose from my available options DocuWare Printer, because now I have the DocuWare Printer app installed on my machine. Hit print, and now DocuWare is going to simply print that document directly into DocuWare. So what you're going to see here is that document show up in my my tray here. There we go. So here's my document. It was printed into my tray. You can see there it says DocuWare Printer. Intelligent indexing is running on the document and gathering all the index values so that when I go to store the document, I can see here that DocuWare did its best job to grab everything. It got the amount wrong, so that I can always retrain that. I'll go over intelligent indexing in another video, but that's going to allow you to store the document. It's also going to allow you to do any scanning. So it's going to bring up the DocuWare Desktop Apps. This is essentially what gets installed on the machine. So if I had a scanner connected to my computer, I could then do a scan directly into DocuWare using a specific configuration. And then I can also set up an import job using DocuWare Desktop Apps. So I could, for example, set up a folder on my desktop. I could throw in documents as long as they have configuration set up for them. I could then bring them directly into my DocuWare system. And then we also have a history tab as well. So each DocuWare Desktop app is going to have a specific history tab for that user. So I'm going to be able to go to that tab and see what all was brought into DocuWare, when it was brought in, and how it was brought in. And if I click on each one there, I can see if it used a configuration, and actually I can see where that document actually went. So that's DocuWare Desktop Apps. For the most part, that's what most people need, but If you have special requirements for other DocuWare apps, those are also available. You just need to run the setup again. So if I go back and run the client setup, you're going to see that I have options to also install other apps as well. So you're going to see this pop up once the apps are installed. This is how you actually remove the apps as well, by the way. So you click on remove apps and then check each one you want removed. I'm going to go back here, and then we have this install additional apps button. So for example, from here I could install Connect to Outlook. I could even show my administrative options and install DocuWare Administration and the Workflow Designer. So I'm going to install all three of these. And this is a cloud environment. If you're on-prem, like for example, Connect to Outlook is an additional add-on module. So unless that's purchased, you won't have access to that. Same thing with the Workflow Designer. But if you are a cloud DocuWare user, you do have access to these apps. So I had those installed now, so I can restart later. So now what I have on my computer is the Connect to Outlook app and the DocuWare Administration app. So that is this tool here, DocuWare Administration, and then I also have the Workflow Designer app on my computer as well. So that allows me to design workflows in DocuWare. So that's the quick version of it. That's pretty much all there is to it, honestly. Just hop on the user's machine, make sure the user's logged in as themselves. Use the pull down, go to desktop apps, install your desktop apps, and then once they're installed, you want to go back later and connect to the desktop apps. That's all there is. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to talk to you. Otherwise, have a great one. See ya.